Good morning, students. Welcome to Samagra Shiksha, Andhra Pradesh, KGBV, Chittoor district. I am Sumalata, Social CRT from KGBV, Ramakuppam. How are you, students? I hope you all good. Before going to the chapter, you must have aware about solar system. The term solar system refers to the family of the sun. The sun is a star around which 8 planets, among other celestial objects, revolve in orbits. This whole system of bodies is called the solar system. The earth is the third nearest planet to the sun. It is our home planet, and also this is the most suitable planet to support life. It is also called blue planet. In our solar system, the first planet is Mercury. The second one is Venus. Third one is Earth. Fourth one is Mars. Fifth planet is Jupiter. And sixth one is Saturn. And seventh one is Uranus. And last one is Neptune. All of these 8 planets rotates around the sun. Now, you can see first image how the solar system is in reality. Before going to the lesson, I would like remind you 2 things. First thing is, what is the meaning of movement in general? Do you know what it is? Okay. It means the state of changing something position. I repeat. Movements means the state of position, changing something's position. For example, we are moving front and back, left and right. Human bodies are very much flexible for movement. In the same way, our earth has movements. The earth has 2 movements. One is rotation and another one is revolution. You can observe these 2 movements of the earth on the screen. Now, I want to remind you the second thing, that is seasons. You know very well what the seasons are, right? Don't you? Well, you can observe in your daily life. The seasons, what we have is the winter, the summer and rainy seasons. Now students, can you guess what we are going to learn about? Did you get any idea? Okay, let me tell you. Now we are going to learn chapter 3, that is Earth movements and seasons. Changing seasons. Human beings live along with a large community of plants and animals. We can observe constant change in the course of the year, the flowering and fruiting of trees and plants changes in the animal activity in our surroundings. Students, here the word constant change means continuous change. As months pass by, you would have noticed that the trees shed leaves, stand bare, new shoots come forth, they flower up and fruits. You may have also noticed that in different times of the year, you will get different kinds of vegetables and fruits. In some months, it is very hot, and in some months, it is cold or wet. For example, during summer season, only you will get mango fruit, watermelon, muskmelon, and also custard apple in winter season. Like this, so many fruits and vegetables are harvested in particular seasons only. Look at the screen, observe the pictures carefully. In the first picture, it shows that the trees and its surroundings are fully covered with snow. In the second picture, it shows that the trees has fully grown leaves. In the third picture, you can observe the tree sprouting leaves. And in the last picture, ripened red leaves are falling from the tree. So, these four pictures shows us different seasons. Have you ever seen your surrounding covered by snow? No. You may have seen flooded by water during rains, but never snow. Snow falls heavily in northern countries during winter. And in summer months, it is not so cold but still much cooler than in our state. In those countries, the day is much longer than night. In region of all approximately time differences maximum half an hour, 2 hours like that, but some other areas even in the midnight also the sun is going to be appears. That we can say that the land of midnight sun. It means at night 12 o'clock in the region of Norway, you can observe the land of midnight sun. The country Norway can be found the region of Europe. Students, observe screen background image taken from the Norway region in the midnight. You can observe here the sun is rising even in the midnight. So, that's why Norway is called the land of midnight sun. Students, observe the image on the screen. You know the longest latitude is equator. It is divided into two equal parts. Above the equator part is northern hemisphere. Below the equator part is southern hemisphere. Southern hemisphere countries are Australia, South Africa, Madagascar, Indonesia, Philippines, etc. and South America, etc. Northern hemisphere countries are North America, Europe, Russia, North Asia, and etc. North Hemisphere countries have winter when we have summer. When we have winter, they have summer. Children, do you know what is continent? And why we are calling India as a subcontinent? In general, continents means one of several large land masses, namely Asia, Africa, North America, South America, Europe, Antarctica, and Australia. The continent should have unique physical features like major landforms such as plateaus, mountain ranges, high degree of permanence, and also large population, different languages, choice of worship, different regional climates like that. There are many unique features should have a continent. Even though India is a part of Asian continent and it is not a separate continent. In the same way, whatever the features that the continent is having, our India also have the same unique features. That's why India is also known as subcontinent. We can observe different landscapes, long sea coastals, number of rivers, mountains, hills, different cultures and different regions, different festivals. Some areas having too much cold weather and in some other areas having hottest. So, India is having this much unique features. That's the reason why we are calling India as subcontinent. According to the ancient Sanskrit literature, the year divides into 6 seasons. Adding an intermediate seasons between each of the 3 main seasons. These are called Ritus as follows. First one is Vasanta. It is spring. It comes from March to April. Second one, Grishma. It is summer. It comes from May to June. Third one is Varsha. It is monsoon. It comes from July to August. Fourth one is Sharad. It is autumn. It comes from September to October. Fifth one is Hemanta. It is pre-winter. It comes from November, December. And the last Ritu is Shishira. It is winter. It comes from January to February. This each and every season associate with certain agricultural operations and festivals. Next one is factors affecting the seasons. What are the factors that affect the seasons? There are 4 factors. The first factor is the spherical shape of the earth and the curvature of its surface. Second factor is daily rotation of the earth on its own axis. Third factor is the earth tilt and revolution around the sun. Fourth factor is the earth's movement around the sun once a year. First factor, let us discuss about curvature of the earth. What is the meaning of curvature? curvature of the earth means that spherical shape of the earth and curvature of its surface. Here curvature means the curve or bend on surface of the earth. We can observe this curvature from long distance. Earth do not receive same amount of temperature. In your previous lesson, what you have learnt? Yes, equator receives huge temperature, north and south poles receives less temperature. Because of the reason, around the equator becomes warmer than these near the poles. The next factor is Earth's rotation on its axis. Let us discuss what is an axis. Axis means it is an imaginary line which joins the north and south poles. This line is called axis. Earth rotates on its own axis. To complete one rotation, it takes 23 hours, 56 minutes and 4.09 seconds. Nearly it takes 24 hours and we call it as one day. Earth rotates from west to east. It rotates speed of 1640 kilometers per hour. The sun, the moon and the stars appears to rise in the east and set in the west. This is, of course, an illusion created by the eastward spin of Earth. What are the effects of the Earth rotation? Due to Earth rotation, you will get day and night. Students, you can observe on the screen image, sun rays always falling on the earth. That portion of the earth is called day. And the portion which is not receiving the sunlight is called night. The variation in the exposure to sunlight greatly influences local temperature and wind movements. What would happen if the earth do not rotate on its own axis? Then one portion of the earth which is in front of the earth would constantly get sun's heat and light, and the other portion would remain cold and dark. This would make both portions unfit for life. The bright half would be too hot and the dark half would be too cold. So, rotation helps the entire earth to get heat and light on a daily basis. The next factor is Earth's tilt of the axis. Here, tilt means a sloping position. I repeat, tilt means a sloping position. The earth was tilted by some angle. The earth's axis of rotation does not stand vertically. Look at the picture. The dotted line is vertical line, that is 90 degrees angle. That is 90 degrees angle. But the earth axis is tilted by 23.5 degrees angle. Students, now you just imagine the horizontal line on the globe. Now you can subtract this 23.5 degrees angle from 90 degrees angle. Then you will get 66.5 degrees angle. This angle lies between horizontal line to tilted axis. Hope you understood. Today, the earth axis is tilted by 23.5 degrees from the plane of its orbit around the sun. But this tilt changes. During a cycle that averages about 41,000 years, the tilt of the axis varies between 22.1 degree angle to 24.5 degree angles. Because of this tilt change, the seasons as we know them can become changed. And another thing here is polarity of axis. As Earth revolves around the sun, Earth's axis remains tilted in the same direction throughout the year. It keeps pointing to the pole star, and this is called the polarity of axis. The last factor is Earth's revolution. As you can see the picture, Earth rotating round on its own axis. It is called rotation. The Earth revolves around the sun while rotating round on its own axis is called revolution. The Earth has one satellite called Moon, and it revolves around the Earth. Earth goes around on a regular path on a level plane in open space. This fixed line is called orbital plane. Here, I would like to ask a question. What is orbital plane? The motion of Earth around the sun is called revolution. It takes about 365 days, 5 hours, 6 minutes. Approximately it takes 6 hours. This is the length of a year on the Earth. By adding the approximately 6 hours per year up to 4 years, we get extra 24 hours. That is 1 day. This extra day is added every 4th year in February month. The year having the date in February 29 is known as leap year. I can explain one more important point is inclined axis. What is mean by inclined axis? The axis of Earth's rotation is inclined and points in the same direction throughout the year. So, it is called inclined axis. The shortest distance between the sun and the Earth is 147 million kilometers, and the longest distance is 152 million kilometers on the orbital plane. The closest position is called perihelion. The farthest position is called aphelion. This revolution movements makes the spring with its colorful flowers, the hot summer full of fun, the autumn when leaves falls from the trees to the ground, and the cold and frosty winter. Why do we have different seasons? You know that why Earth revolves around the Sun? Sometimes Earth will reach different places on a orbital plane. We take March 21st in this period. Usually, what happens on March 21st? The sun rays vertically falls on the equator because of the day and night are same all over the world. As a result, when the northern hemisphere has its spring season while southern hemisphere has autumn season, then 6 months later the position changes. Northern hemisphere has autumn and southern hemisphere has spring. Now coming to June 21st. In this time period, during June months, the northern hemisphere is tilted towards the sun. It means sun rays falls on the Tropic of Cancer. It causes of summer in northern hemisphere while winter in southern hemisphere. Daytime is longer than night. Now going to another position, September 23rd. We can see that in some months like March and September, it is the equator which faces the sun directly, and both the north hemisphere and southern hemisphere get similar amount of energy from the sun. On March 21st and September 23rd, throughout the year, day and night are equal in time. It means 12 hours day and 12 hours night. So, these are called equinoxes. Next, moving to another position, December 22nd. Sun rays directly falls on Tropic of Capricorn. As a result, northern hemisphere has winter and southern hemisphere has summer. This is about Earth revolution and its consequences. Hoping that you have understood. Let us discuss about temperature belts on the Earth. It is last topic in this lesson and important topic also. Note down in your notebook. Now we can learn about the various pressure belts and wind patterns that have developed on planet Earth. While understanding the basic concepts behind the development of pressure belts, we will not take into consideration the tilt of the axis and the influence of land-water distribution. You know, equator divides the globe into southern hemisphere and northern hemisphere, and equatorial belt extend up to 5 degrees north and 5 degrees south. Equatorial region receives nearly vertical rays of the sun, and this heats of the air near the equator. When temperature increases, pressure decreases. So, along the equator, we have low pressure, and we call this region as equatorial low pressure belt. The warm air starts rising up in the troposphere, and as the warm air is rising, the temperature drops. After rising up to a certain point, it stops rising upwards because it becomes cooler and it is obstructed by tropopause. So, the air spreads out. The air starts moving in the southern and northern directions. As the air is moving, it becomes denser, and after a certain point, it sinks down to the surface. So, at around 30 degrees north and south, we have sinking air. This sinking air is cool air, so it forms high pressure system. These regions are called as subtropical high pressure belt because these regions lie outside the tropical region and at the same time adjoining the tropical region. The sinking air now moves towards the north and south. So, along the equator, the warm air rises, spreads out, and cool and sinks down. In this way, it develops convectional currents. At the poles, the sun rays are very much inclined. So we have cold air that sinks. These regions are known as polar high pressure belt. In the northern hemisphere, the air moves towards the south, and the southern hemisphere, the air moves towards north. At this point, we have air coming from north and south. So, at this point, the air converges and rises up. These regions are known as subpolar lows. So, at 60 degrees latitudes, we have low pressure system because we have rising air. Along the equator, the air is rising because of convection, and at subpolar lows, we have rising air because of converges. This rising air also spreads out, cools and sinks. Some things happen. In the southern hemisphere, on the surface of the earth along the equator, the winds move from high pressure regions to low pressure regions. That is, from subtropical highs to the equatorial low in the north and south hemisphere. These winds bend to the right in the northern hemisphere, and the southern hemisphere, the winds bend to the left, and this is described as Coriolis effects. The winds bend to the right and left in the northern hemisphere and southern hemisphere respectively. Because the earth is spherical in shape and the earth rotates from west to east in the same way in between 30 degrees and 60 degrees north and south. The winds bends towards right and left in the northern hemisphere and southern hemisphere respectively. Even at the polar region, the same phenomena can be seen. Students, you can observe these temperature belts on the screen image provided. The arrow marks indicates how air is moving. I hope you understand this topic. Okay students, this is the end of our lesson. Now you will conclude this lesson by recapitulating what we have learned so far. Changing seasons, land of midnight sun, factors affecting the seasons, Earth's rotation and revolution. Seasons in the north and south hemisphere. Temperature belts on the earth. Students, note down your assignment. What is orbital plane? First question is, what is orbital plane? Second question is, write about the polarity of axis. And third question is, how many seasons are there in India? What are they? Fourth question is, what do you know about changing seasons? Fifth question is, what did you learn about Earth's revolution? Can you give an example of this in your own way? Sixth question is, what is curvature of the earth? Students, answer the questions and submit it through WhatsApp group to your concerned subject teacher. Thank you students.